Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the Quick and Classic Companion. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review featuring this expansion for the Quick and Classic role-playing game, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to take a look at the new special abilities and combat rules, starting with the Stone spell. It's a natural power that grants the same protection of heavy armor for a single combat action. That is, the skin turns rock hard, or allows passing through a few feet of stone for one action, or rolling an improved type of dice than what would normally be given for a single action that involves situations or foes based on stone. For example, climbing a stone wall, or fighting animated statues, etc. Then we have the psionic power. It's similar to magic, but springs from the strength of your psyche. It allows the reading of surface thoughts and emotions of a creature for one action, or moving small objects or locks for one action as well. This is basically telekinesis. Or rolling an improved type of dice than what would normally be given for a single combat action. This represents a psychic attack. Special monsters such as demons, dragons, or mindless foes such as the undead, amoebas, animated statues, etc. might be immune to this power if it is handled as a sort of mental crush attack or the like. The number of stone spells or psionic powers a character possesses can be increased as per normal spells. However, because these powers have a different nature than normal spells, characters able to use stone spells or psionic powers are not able to make enigma actions to dissolve magic and curses, read magic runes, and similar things. The only exception involves magic runes engraved on stone, which can be read and dissolved using a stone spell and making an enigma action. That is, rolling an improved type of dice than what would normally be given. Now let's talk about the new combat rules. We have the rule of surprised opponents. If the characters get to somehow surprise their opponents, the master can lower the opponent's difficulty in the first combat action. Then you have limits to the use of armor. Even the finest armor has gaps. Thus, armor, even if magic, can absorb damage only up to its current valor in each combat action. Then we have the parry or dodge missiles rule. In particular situations, a character might have to dodge or parry some dangerous missile that was hurled at him, if such action is not already part of a combat exchange. An example could be the foes shooting with crossbows or throwing daggers at characters that can't fire back with missile weapons. In this case, to avoid damage through an acrobatics action or a combat action, they can actually manage to parry missiles with their shields or weapons. Then we have the rule of turkey shoot. If more than one character is shooting with missile weapons at foes that cannot shoot back, the master can give a bonus to the average ability of the character's unit involved in the combat action. This rule does not apply to hurled weapons such as daggers, axes, hammers, etc. Then we have the throwing weapons at groups of foes or special opponents. The master can always state that throwing weapons at large groups of foes is useless, as it would only kill a few enemies, leaving the majority unscathed. In the same way, throwing at a gigantic or extremely tough monster such as a dragon or a kraken might be useless as well. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about the new equipment rules. I think these new mechanics are great to keep things simple but still add a certain variety to powers and maneuvers. In the case of the new spells, so to speak, they can be used as separate disciplines and still apply in enigma checks related to perhaps stonework or natural structures. In the case of the psionic power, maybe some enigmas related to the mysteries of the mind and psychic power could also apply. In the case of the new combat rules, I think this could be considered optional rules or perhaps quite situational because some players could feel a bit cheated. For example, maybe your character specializes in the use of ranged weapons. If all of the large groups of enemies or horde type of enemies are immune to ranged attacks, the ranged specialists are going to feel quite cheated in my opinion. So I would recommend to use these combat rules on a case-by-case basis. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.